President Donald Trump plans to close the Kennedy Center for about 2 years. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Monday, February 2nd. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Shortly after returning to office last year, President Trump became chair of the Kennedy Center. He was elected by a new board of Trump loyalists. Trump's tenure has led to upheaval and cancellations at the Performing Arts Institution in D.C. In December, the board voted to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center, though it's legally questionable if they can do that. In any case, it seems that rebranding was not the end of Trump's vision for the center. In a post yesterday, Trump said he plans to close the Kennedy Center for roughly 2 years for the facility to undergo construction. He called it, in its current form, quote, a tired, broken, and dilapidated center, and said it would become, quote, far better than it has ever been before. Under Trump's proposal, the Kennedy Center could close on July 4th, with construction beginning immediately. That would coincide with America's 250th anniversary. House Republicans are working to end a partial federal government shutdown. That's number 2. You may not have noticed, but we're in the midst of a government shutdown. It began early on Saturday after funding for much of the government lapsed. Negotiations to avert the shutdown were derailed by aggressive immigration enforcement in Minneapolis. The partial shutdown, though, probably won't last long. House Speaker Mike Johnson laid out his expected timeline yesterday, speaking on NBC's Meet the Press.
Well, let's say I'm confident that we'll do it at least by Tuesday. We have a logistical challenge of getting everyone in town, and because of the conversation I had with Hakeem Jeffries, I know that we've got to pass a rule and probably do this mostly on our own. I think that's very unfortunate.
But getting enough votes to end the shutdown won't be simple. Many House Democrats do not plan to support a deal Senate Democrats struck with the White House last week. If most Democrats do not support the package, Republicans will need near unanimity to pass the funding package. Number 3. A 5-year-old boy detained by ICE returned home to Minnesota yesterday. A photo last month from Trump's immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis gained widespread attention. It showed Liam Ramos, a 5-year-old in a blue knit bunny hat and Spider-Man backpack. He was returning from preschool when immigration officers detained him. On Saturday, a federal judge ordered him and his father released from detention in Texas. They returned to Minnesota yesterday. Ramos is among thousands of children who have been detained by ICE. The average number of children and adults held in family detention has nearly tripled over each of the past 4 months. That's according to data from the Department of Homeland Security. An independent analysis by the nonprofit Marshall Project concluded that at least 3,800 people under 18, including 20 infants, were detained in 2025. President Trump's chaotic governing style is hurting the value of the U.S. dollar. That's number 4. The dollar has lost more than 10% of its value since Trump returned to the White House. After more than a year of nonstop upheaval, many foreign investors are exhausted and taking steps to reduce their exposure to the U.S. Trump's abrupt stops and starts with tariffs and military action against a lengthening list of countries are damaging the dollar's appeal. Fallout from the recent Greenland crisis aggravated the dollar's decline even further. Even if you're not planning to spend your dollars on a European vacation anytime soon, this still has a big effect on Americans. By raising the cost of imported goods such as computers, cars, and clothing, a weaker dollar could hamper the fight to cool inflation. The Justice Department released another batch of Epstein files. That's our 5th story. On Friday, the Justice Department released what it said were 3 million pages from the investigation into the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This is expected to be the last major release of files, and came more than a month after a December 19th deadline set by law. Lawmakers have criticized the Justice Department for not meeting the legal deadline. But Trump administration officials have said they needed the time to make redactions to protect the identities of victims. This set of files contains new references to President Trump, including uncorroborated allegations of misconduct. But it's important to note that being mentioned in the files does not demonstrate criminal wrongdoing. This release also contained photos that appear to show Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, crouched over a woman on the floor. Number 6.
And the Grammy goes to Bad Bunny, Debí Quedar.
Bad Bunny won Album of the Year at the Grammys. Last night in LA, the Puerto Rican superstar won Album of the Year for Debí Tirar Más Fotos. The mostly Spanish-language album hit number 1 on the Billboard 200 last year. He delivered his acceptance speech in Spanish, but he switched to English when he said this.
I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country, to follow their dreams.
In an earlier speech, Bad Bunny also said, "Ice out." He is performing at the Super Bowl in California next weekend. Olivia Dean won Best New Artist, and also spoke about immigration in her speech.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I wouldn't be here. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Other winners made similar comments, including Billie Eilish when she won Song of the Year for Wildflower. For a list of all the top winners, plus our favorite red carpet looks, follow the link in our newsletter. And at number 7. Just a few minutes of extra exercise a day could boost longevity. In a recent study, researchers looked into how small, achievable changes in your physical activity could help fend off death a little longer. And there's good news for anyone who is more of a couch potato than an exercise enthusiast. Even a slight increase in moderate intensity activity, such as walking at a brisk pace for 5 minutes daily, could help people live longer. Researchers claim it could save up to 1 in 10 people from an earlier death. The study's lead author noted that exercise affects the immune system and may reduce blood pressure and the risk of inflammation, among other things. Those changes are associated with a reduction in the risk of major chronic diseases. Health benefits increased the longer people spent exercising, and decreasing inactivity was helpful too. So even if you can only manage a little bit of exercise today, it will be time well spent. All right, you're all caught up. Make this the week you become a subscriber to The Washington Post. Right now, you can unlock your first 6 months of access to The Washington Post for just 50 cents a week. After that, it'll cost $14 every 4 weeks. You can cancel anytime. You'll get unlimited access to trusted journalism that helps you make sense of what's happening now and what's ahead. Go to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe to get this deal while you can. That's WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.